Number 8, daily obedience says, is Christian entertainment like The Chosen a violation of the second commandment? Are things like Sunday school lessons hurting our theology by the pictures of things or people? Okay, there's two questions here that are I'm gonna just address how they're connected. Okay, so I'm not talking specifically about The Chosen. I'm not talking about specific types of pictures. I'm talking about the issue of the second commandment and whether it means that you cannot have, say, a picture or artwork of Jesus or artwork of the apostles or of an angel or something like that. And I used to think that, I should say that I thought this when I was a teenager. I felt like, you shall make no graven images, right? That this applied to kind of like all artwork that was related to God. I think I was really mistaken though. And as I read more of the Old Testament, what really shocked me was when I got into Exodus and I read about the tabernacle and I saw, and it was like this weird moment for me, right? There was cognitive dissonance in my head because I read in the scripture where it said that in the temple, they had fabric where they put images of angelic things. And there was like this ark where there was these two angels with wings stretched out towards each other in the middle of the temple, like a place of worship, no less. There was nothing between them because there was nothing to represent God's presence, but they actually were instructed by God to sculpt, craft these 3D images of angelic things. So that's pretty interesting. Why is that when the second commandment says not to make images? Actually, the second commandment doesn't say not to make them at all. It specifically says not to make them and bow down to them. They cannot be involved in your worship cannot be directed towards them. So these angels and stuff related to the temple are to represent the fact that the temple is like where the presence of God is, and it's kind of like heaven on the inside is sort of the feeling of the temple. And so you have these angelic things going on. But you don't have any worship directed at those angels. The worship is not assisted by the angels. They're merely there in representation of something. So that's significant. Like if the priest had gone into the tabernacle and was burning incense to that angelic picture, that image, that would be a problem. If he went down and he started kissing it and praying and touching it as he prayed, that would be a problem, but he's not. It's just there to represent a heavenly reality. So it turns out that artwork in the temple was good even, and artwork outside the temple is good too. I don't think we should do images of God, for the nature of an image of God is that it will utterly misrepresent him because he doesn't have a physical body like this. What about an image of Jesus? I think that this can be acceptable, but it can lead to weird things. It depends. Let's say that you watch The Chosen, and then one day you meet the actor who's playing Jesus, his character, and somewhere in the back of your head you're thinking, oh, he's so holy, and I just want to touch the corner of his garment, I just want to go and I just want to touch his hand. I want to get him to pray for me. I'm like, now you're delusional. Like you've actually gone to the point where you don't realize he's like a faker. Like that's what actors are. They're fakers. He's just a good faker. He's trying to fake this part to teach lessons, but he's not real. Like then none of these guys are spiritual based upon the personas they put on a TV show. I think that's just healthy to treat them like normal people. Yeah, so I don't know if that helps you a bit. Sunday school lessons are images in our Sunday schools hurting our theology because of the pictures. If the pictures are misleading, they can. But you have to understand too that we learn at different stages and levels. Like a 4-year-old child doesn't need to have an uber realistic depiction of biblical events in order to start learning the first layer of their understanding of those things. But if they carry on, like a lot of kids, they get education in Sunday school and then they leave church. And so all that's left in their head is this like really Sunday school level understanding of Christianity. And then they think it's silly because they were silly when they tried to understand it. They had little brains and they grow up and they try to throw adult questions at a child's understanding of Christianity. That happens a lot. But that's not just because of the images. I don't just want to blame like the images, like there's a picture of Jesus walking on the water, or maybe there's a picture of Jesus multiplying the bread, and there's something in it that is not accurate. Like I'm a little more flexible on this stuff. I don't want to nitpick too much people who are doing their best to serve the Lord.